Namaskar. We were just now discussing about how infinity remains an infinity with all the forms and finites rising in that infinite space. Ultimately, these forms and these finite objects, they have arisen from this space, in this space, and they merge back into this space as this space. For example, a jeev. A jeev is a combination of the food eaten by the mother and the father. That is how the initial material is provided. Before that food is ingested, it is grown. It is grown in space. Before that was grown, it was space. Then, using the elements, 5 elements, the food was grown. Those were taken in by the parents. Again, using the 5 elements, a jeev was born. He occupied a small space. Thereafter, a small space in the cradle, say 2 feet or 1 feet. Then his space requirements kept on increasing. Then when he reached, say, my age, the space requirements kept decreasing because of the physical limitations of this jeev and the lessening requirements of this jeev started decreasing. It got restricted to one room. From one room, it got restricted to that 6 feet on that stretcher. And after this jeev was burnt, it could be taken in one lota, one small vessel, this size. It was one jeev. So this jeev, who was occupying a lot of space earlier, is now in this lota. When after some time, the same jeev from this space, when it gets immersed into the river, it again goes back to the space and becomes space, part of that space. You know? Now, so the infinite space, infinite whatever you can say, Brahman or consciousness, that infinite gave rise to a finite form within that infinity. And this finite form, which was in that infinity, a part of it, again merged back into the same infinity as part of it, or as it, there is no part, it becomes infinity again. Like you assemble the 5 elements and make a pot. This pot has been made in infinite space. After some time, when the walls of the pot are broken, these walls, where do they go? Merge back into the ground, and water gets evaporated, the soil gets into the soil, and space remains there. The space occupied by that vessel remains as it is. It is only the form which in this space appeared and thereafter it disappeared. The form disappeared, space remained. Getting the point? This bottle we say because there is a wall around it. Or we can say there is a wall around this space, and that is why this part of the space is called a bottle. When the walls go, space remains. The bottle goes. So it becomes, so therefore when we are occupying a certain space in this, what we do with the form, how we relate ourselves to the form, determines how that form will be. If we relate to the form in a very hygienic, cooperative manner, the form will give a lot of support to us for realizing whatever needs to be realized in this infinite space using this form. If we are unkind with this form, if we are very casual with this form will not function optimally towards our perceiving or experiencing what could have been experienced otherwise. Getting my point? That is to say, if this form during this time is taken care of by the right thoughts and the right physical activities, this is how we are associating with this form, no? So, if we associate with this form by the right thoughts and the right activities, this form would be disease free for a longer time, vis-a-vis a state where we are abusing this form in various ways through our thoughts and through our actions. So wisdom is to use this form judiciously and realize, when associating with this form, realize that this form rose from infinity, it will go back to infinity. We are right now with this form. We are right now with this form, having this form to perform certain functions, which if we take care, we would be able to, else we would be in the hospitals. That is why there is a necessity to take care of this time period, this interval when we are in this form. We are not this form. Are we the form? No. We have got this form to realize something, to experience something in this infinity. That's all. Thank you.